Hey everyone. This is just a video going through a demo review of Heroic versus EG. I think it just actually happened. The match was earlier today. Yeah, so we're just going to focus on watching stavn on CT side. We're going to see how stavn plays lane, kind of what roles he fills there, and this is kind of what I do when I'll watch a few demos of the same player across different matches, but we're just going to watch one here and just kind of try to pick up tips as we go. So I hope this is helpful seeing how I do it, and otherwise maybe you just learn how stavn does it and we'll just learn together. Sweet, so let's hop right into it. So here's pistol round. So it looks like stavn had the mid spawn. They're setting up with 3B. They have a smoke and a flash for B. I'm guessing they're going to smoke CT just based off of what I'm seeing on the radar. stavn jumped off mid, jump spotted. Probably, I don't think saw the bomb at all. Just kind of had info that they're not rushing up on mid early, and now they're just doing a 2-lane stack. The enemies are kind of defaulting, seeing what happens. We're holding mid, and they're going to do a B pop. So not much here. They push down mid, and the B hold wins. So enemies went to the 3B stack. That's pretty sweet. So stavn here, anti-eco round. He's running an M4 and a smoke. So he just jump spotted mid to see. He's doing a late jump spot. This is interesting to see. He kind of waited, like maybe they would nade stack, so he kind of had a delayed timing there. And he did a jump spot just for free info. So that was neat to see. I will say they were just playing 4 brackets, so let's say like if the enemies did rush up alt mid, you know, he saw 3 alt mid, but let's say they rush up alt mid and they just rush into lane. They had the MP9 was tucked under here and he was kind of playing this back pillar, so they were going to fight bracket in the beginning. And then they kind of fell back into a more passive setup. So this is an interesting setup here. So it looks like Cadian has a rifle holding arch from the off angle. Now stavn, I haven't really seen this one before, just crouched here holding this. I'm guessing that, okay, his team is jiggling lane. So he has like this like off angle. Oh, check that out. That was a sweet smoke. Let's just back this up real quick to see actually what happened. So he has a sweet off angle. He comes back. He just does the smoke. His teammate gets contact lane, so he repositions out here off the contact. And his teammate gets contact arch, so he just swings off the trade. Really good work by him, honestly. Kind of swiveling between 2 angles, but playing this position here was like think about this. Like you're kind of in this spot here where you can't be seen from arch right now, but you're 1 swing away. And if you do swing arch, you actually close the lane view, which is really cool. To be kind of, this is where he was standing. So really nice area. So his teammate flashed mid close, he needed down. First gun round. They're throwing their apps player mollied and naded just to slow everything down. Now they're playing double arch. And Shush just crouched holding lane. So stavn moves back. So they started in double arch, and then their B player rotated off and then picked up the arch roll. So stavn said, okay, I'm going to rotate towards lane. So this is a really good spot here. The stavn, yeah, he's a smoke. So even if he gets mollied out, he can throw the one-way. So he did throw a smoke that does have somewhat of a one-way on the left side, but he didn't play it. So the enemies may be thinking right now that there could be like 2 lane, right? Because if you smoke under lane, it usually means that you're currently fighting from like top porch and under porch. So they're probably going to do like a full actual clear now on lane. Like that, they didn't really just contact out, you know, they... Actually, good by them to call their bluff, okay. They just said like they're not holding bracket anymore, we pushed them back. Very cool. So stavn moved from being under lane, playing tucked, into mini pit now. So from mini pit, they plant B. Let's see what the B retake looks like. There's a nice peek by Hex. stavn did see his shadow there, so I guess that was a good angle to be holding, a good fight to be in. This round, he has M4 and just a smoke and a flash. He's the 3rd player B, since he's normally their kind of their lane player, or their rotator on A. So he's gonna smoke that molly since his teammate's committed. He wants to at least be able to stay with Jabby for the trade potential. And with this, it seems like they're just going to do a simple bait and switch here. stavn will get info, and then Jabby will be able to fight, and then stavn can re-peek. Alright, let's see Jabby's point of view. There we go, there's the re-peek. Sweet! So, now they have B. Enemies are planning on A. Through this smoke. Does this create a one-way? Does it say? I've never seen this. Whoa. Nice molly by Hex. Just knew exactly what they were doing. So they're doing a full eco here. I mean, we could really skip this round, but this is cool. So they're just playing for intel, and then they're eventually just going to flash, pull, and they'll swing together off of stavn's flash. Alright. Let's go to the next round. You grab the AK. See if he saves the AK. Yep, stavn saved the AK here. It's moving right along. He's playing close mid here. He's just listening right now. He's literally listening to hear if someone runs up mid. His teammate flashes mid from, I'm guessing, Balk. Yeah, from right here. They just like flash over mid, common flash. He peeks, doesn't see anything. That's info, right? So they're either alt mid, or yeah, we have full banana, and we didn't see anything when we flash peeked mid. So they're probably all kind of walking up alt right now. They're expecting like a Halls pop, or some form of a bracket hit, because they don't have any, the enemies have not taken car once yet, or haven't taken banana at all, so. Oh, that's interesting, he had double HEs here. I just want to say, this left line that he spammed is a really good spam to do. Oh, jeez. Yeah, so he did. So originally he spammed this line, kind of like here, and I think this is like, if you're Arch and you want to spam right here, this is always like, a lot of enemies are kind of like either close on this wall, or they're like moving up like around here. So I just think like spamming here or kind of like here are both really good like lines to spam through that smoke. But yeah, getting info early on mid. So this is their anti-eco. So he's kind of standing close mid again in this area. He's like collecting information. He's like listening. He's jiggling. His teammate gets boosted. I call that fallen boost, where they boost like here. So then your teammate can peek like mid from top here. He was able to see the player in Mexi. And then stavn was just kind of playing close with the Molotov. They were going for the alt pick. He was gonna he was gonna molly. I guess he mollied like close as soon as like the pick happened, because like there may just be pistols exploding off of that information, either like through here, or they may be running out apps or boiler. So all things to just like immediately worry about as soon as the pick happens. And then this is kind of their anti-eco setup. So they have this player, Tessus rotate over, Shush is under lane, and stavn's crouch here. This is a really good setup because if they come out here, they may see Shush's arm under lane. They're going to see Shush's arm, and then they're going to try to kill him, and then they're going to fall right into the crouched stavn right here. I guess he just jumping shot him through the wall. There we go. Alright, so now stavn seems to be, so their lane player is their third B player, is kind of the trend we're seeing. So he's doing a 146 flash, another flash right after. This second flash is good because it lands a little bit deeper than before, so if a player jumped into Broom, it's going to blind the Broom player. So let's just back this up real quick just to see his point of view as soon after he threw the flashes. So flash, flash, run over here. My teammate fought. I'm going to molly Broom. The enemies smoked in the pool or whatever, like the middle. Now he's holding. So they're about to have, it looks like Cadian setting up a flash for them to peek. So they double flash, Tessa's peeked, and stavn's kind of holding for the resync. Alright, so they are going to come back B here. Oh. stavn's monster. That was a cool molly throw. You know, a lot of times I'm like confused about what to do in that specific situation. Like if you don't have any more smokes. I just want to kind of watch it from here. So these players jump through the smokes, he gets intel, he mollies there, he knows they're going to run through at him, but I guess he's thinking that they're going to want to, they're going to think that he fell all the way back to site, I think, and played passive. Oh, because they saw him. Yeah. Because he does the jump spot, and they're like, fell back on B, so they're going to knife out run at him to try to catch timing. Because it makes sense if stavn fell all the way back, you know, it gives his teammate more time to rotate in, but doing the repeat there was kind of like, it's almost like, I don't know, it's meta, right? So, really nice work by him. So he has an A spawn here, he jumps across mid fast. So this is an anti-eco where he wants to get aggressive and fight. So I think they just did a single flash here for the anti-eco, and just had him jump across with the best spawn. So, oh wait, looks like double flash? Yeah, I think double flash. One flash, two flash. Yeah, and he was just fighting from here. Pretty much ASAP. Anyways, he falls out a window, rotates around. They know Hall's pop. Oh, he's back to this angle again. So this is like the setup they've been running where they made running a Hall's pop. I haven't seen this setup before. I really like it, honestly. So this rifle like crouched here, kind of holding lane, or he can even be jiggling lane. Let's go, Shush. Very nice. It's an awesome setup. I'm gonna have to write that one down, save it for the squad. Anyways, gets another A spawn. He runs mid, nades. Nade does a little bit of chip damage. Brings him down to 89. He's quick mid again, so like with the two-man setup, it seems like if they're doing a two-man setup, he comes close mid. Again, we keep seeing this over and over. He's collecting intel. He stands here, he's listening. He's like, I don't hear anything. He's like, maybe they're walking up mid right about now, right? So let's just get the exact timing too. Like that's honestly the really important part. It's like, when do they call in the flash? It's like, all right, 130. The flash pops at 138. So he asks his teammate at 140, like, hey, could you flash right now? He peeks mid, doesn't see anything. Mollies to give himself time to rotate around. The molly also buys time for the rotate to come in for Tessus, so Tessus kind of doesn't have fear that they're already CT arch or close. So again, they're playing 4 lane here. Like they're playing to fight lane. So you see how Shosh is, so I like this setup a lot. They're doing, so stavn's playing like on the angle, Tess is playing on the angle. If they get blind, they're both going to tuck in, and then Shush is kind of playing to swing and trade them. So like if they come out apps, Shush will fight them from here, and then stavn will turn and fight them. If they come out mid, then you have 2 rifles doing a crossfire here and here, and then you have a 3rd rifle that's going to swing over here. So this is honestly a good setup to do if you want to end the round in bracket. And let me just back that up just a second to see if we could see their util real quick. So you see, so in the beginning of the round, it does look like they have like almost full sets of util. I mean, their money is kind of hurting a little bit. So yeah, I mean, they have full smokes and they still have decent amount of mollies, but I guess a lot of they still have full smokes to enemies. Yeah, so they still could technically do a bracket take and they're still running the setup. So just kind of a note. like sometimes I like to see if like maybe they thought the enemies didn't have like util to do certain plays. But I just wanted to double check that. So he runs out. Did he do the silent boost or the silent trap? Nope, just rotates normal. Runs up. Flashes for his teammate. I'm sure they flash that because they probably have a tendency to, well, I know to Molly or smoke, or Molly or nade that, but I haven't seen it smoking the box. Is that to bait this player out, thinking he has a one-way or something? What happened in the upper here off the smoke? Oh, it makes it so that he can't fall back behind the smoke, or behind the new box. He has to play the game in the open, kind of. That's pretty wild. Because if you think about, like, if we double swung this guy, right? Like, the worst case thing to happen is that he's hugging the new box, and then as soon as he shoots, he falls in, right? And he tucks, and we're not able to trade him. That's like the worst thing that could happen on the retake. So if they throw this smoke, now the AWPer has to come out here, which is just like more easily, like if the AWPer peeks, he may be peeking into this player and like another player that was like here, which honestly happened. And then if he shoots, he has to fall back behind the smoke, which means that these players all know to just spam where he either fell back, where he's falling back to right now. He's like currently behind the smoke because he just shot from outside of it, right? So that was a cool retake smoke to see. I've never seen that. Here's another front A spawn. The enemies have 5 rifles again, so he just nades early. No chip damage. He's close mid like normal. Jiggling. They do the fallen boost again. No intel. No one's peeking stairs. He mollies mid. So this player's setting up to do a bracket take. He's trying to get some spam damage again. That's a neat arch smoke. This is really good for lurking through. Well, there you go. It's a nice little right click flash. Just kind of right side of this door, top of there. Perfect. Yeah, so I guess like let's just recap what happened. They did the bracket smoke, and then here we can even speed through it. So we just have like roof or whatever. So they started out. It looks like 3B. Oh no, they started out. Where's the AWPer? Oh yeah, they did the fallen boost. Katie comes over here. They're resmoking mid from Moto Cubby like before. There's this weird arch smoke down where they're thinking, yo, they're gonna lurk through it. So they spam and nade him, and then they're just holding for this guy to lurk through it. So I think Breeze lurked through it because he heard stavn fall all the way back, and then Cadian's just kind of popping off an arch with an AWP right now. So stavn moved back onto site, and then Cadian's pushing through mid. So at this point, he's trying to give him some support. They win the round at B. Great. So stavn does not have one of the best A spawns. It looks like he's still doing kind of the same thing. This round he just jiggled for intel. Oh yeah, it's anti-eco. So since they don't have like AWPer rifle, like, they still could, I guess, like 1 DQ, but it's definitely going to be a harder shot for them. So I guess like coming here close, just doing a little jiggle for info to see if anyone's just running right up mid, because you're trying to like sniff out like where is this like 5-man rush coming in, right? Like they probably have an idea like, okay, this team usually groups up and rushes something on ecos or like Tech 9 rounds. Oh, we missed stavn. Where'd he go down? Alright, so there is a lurk here. He's running a rotate, and he dies to the boiler player. Alright, next round. So here... his teammates throwing the bedroom Molotov, and he collects the info like, hey, it tapped someone. It's funny that it kind of burns him down here. That's probably what tapped him. And he's playing committed underlane. So again, this is something where like his teammate is going to swing off of the bracket take. Like they're playing to end the round in bracket here. So with the mid smoke up, he's kind of playing this like wider angle, hoping that the boiler player peaks. This is kind of like a spot you wouldn't normally play, I would say, if the mid, if there was no mid smoke. So they start doing like bracket control nades. In response, he just Molotovs mid and takes a 1v1 on the boiler player. I just want to see like his response Molotov one more time. Yep, just left clicks basically as soon as. So I don't even know if that was a response actually, like because that you hear like the sound cues. Yeah, he hears the arch smoke and then he's like, oh okay. But also at the same time, it was his mid smoke was fading anyway, so he could have just been chaining util together. Oh. Now that could have created the one way on the right side. This could be like a one way where you creep up in here and jump up on this wood pallet and see here. I don't know if that's like a complete set smoke for that situation. He must have jiggled the guy and gotten intel. Now he's falling back. Alright, and this is an awesome off angle. Like it's pretty much never going to get cleared. There's just too much for them to clear if he's holding that off angle. Decent spawn towards A. Again, anti-eco. He decides to run down mid. So his teammate was covering him for this peak, but unfortunately missed. I guess let's see how Shush plays lane this round. So Shush playing under lane, the enemies are going towards B. Luckily our squad wins it at B. What are they doing over here? Alright, some free guns in spawn. Why don't they have this AK equipped? Alright, let me see. What are we doing here? Oh, that was a crisscross nade. Alright. There it is. Wow, this is so sick. Let's just watch this util pattern real quick. So I'm pretty sure they smoked all. They threw like the G2 smoke. Who smoked here? Okay, the enemies. Oh no, they smoked there. What? That's pretty sick. And they double naded Mexi. So these are the crisscross nades. They're actually really cool. I've seen like a lot of EU teams throw these before. So you have your like, just two of your players throw them. It's probably, let me see, Shush. Yep, and then they're just going to double throw nades that both land into Mexi. That's interesting though. G2 smoke into Molly ult and throw, sorry, and Molly ult and throw a smoke that lands in ult to like kind of cut off the enemies and then just like push down mid lane and try to connect with your teammates' banana. I guess the banana teammates also smoked stairs, maybe? Oh, they smoked it late once they were already. That's a pretty cool strat. Pretty cool strat. Alright, well, that was CT side from stavn. So we're just kind of seeing like what he does. It seems like kind of getting close mid, collecting intel, asking a teammate for a flash around 140 to be able to peek out. It seems to be a pretty common trend, even on anti-ecos. And then fighting for bracket from kind of under lane, whether it's like this angle or if mid smoked, this angle, and if like having response nades where if they start doing a bracket take after your mid smoke's fading. mollying mid and just kind of fighting boiler from this spot was what we saw. And then kind of their falling back setups in this match at least. A lot of times they had Shush just crouching right here, and then they'd have stavn crouching over here, holding the apps like walkout pretty much. Yeah, and then they had either their AWPer or rifler. If they had a rifler arch, they would play like a rifle off angle, or they'd have AWPers playing arch, like how they play arch. Um, well, anyways, that is kind of how I dissect, I guess, a CT side demo for a single player, looking at how they play their role. Yeah, and otherwise we saw stavn going to play. He was like the third player B, like I'd say 2 times, maybe 3 times. That could have been purely because of spawns. But yeah, I hope it was helpful, and thanks for hopping in, and I hope everyone has a great day. See you in the next one. Peace.